How many selling their souls? How many do it from heart? They tryna get me involved. They tryna put me on bars. I'm in the back of the bus. I gotta do it for God. I'm going LeBron in the paint. I'm coming for all the above. I'm with the dogs and we back in the stew. Glad that you knew.
It's good. I'm off of Jello. I'm here with my man, Ravon Bonner. And they call him the Rev, and we're going to explain that in a little bit. But, we known each other in person for not a long amount of time, but in actuality, when you reached out to me on the gram and we shared a few messages, I felt like from that time then and here, you like my brother already. And don't even know you for over a week yet in person. And I just want to give you some love for all that, all the encouragement you've been sending me. And, you've been a blessing from the days that we have been here and having conversations. And you're gonna bless a lot of people. And we're gonna have a little, I guess, announcement that we'll talk about later when it comes to that. But man, welcome. Welcome
Appreciate
again.
it.
We'll dab you up again.
Appreciate it.
And hola, man. Oh, come on, stars.
Oh, bro, I ain't there yet.
Yeah, we in
Yeah,
Spain
I
right
ain't
now.
there yet.
We in Spain.
I ain't
I mean,
there yet.
what foreign languages do you know?
If you would have said "Come on, Cali Woo," like that would have been different. I would have hit you with the
Comment ça va?
I would have hit you with the Salabian. You feel me?
So, all right, we know you know some French. What else? What else do you know? Nothing?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Oh.
A 7-hour distance from where you normally live. How does it feel being here right now? Have you adjusted to the time zone? Things like that?
I have now. One day I had to just thug it out. I got an hour of sleep. I'm like, I'm gonna just stay up the whole day.
Hour of sleep?
Hour of sleep. I'm gonna just stay up the whole day, and then I'm gonna be tired at night. And so that's helped me to be able to go to sleep at night now. So now I'm being up at like 7, and it's great. Yeah, I'm adjusting now.
How was your flight over here, though?
The flight,
Yeah.
the flight was good. The flight itself was good. When I was at the Cincinnati airport, all my people back home had to give me some Skyline, give me some cheese conies.
What is that for people in Spain who's gonna be looking at that?
I mean, they ain't gonna find none of that over here, but it's like you got a hot dog bun, then you got
Like glizzy inside of it?
Yep.
Okay.
And you got I don't eat hot dogs though because it's pork. So
Okay.
I do the no hot
But you eat the
dog.
other glizzies.
But you get the nah. You got the chili, you got the onions, mustard, cheese on top. Yeah, it be hidden. It's a taste of home.
I guess to like the Europeans, I'm probably gonna butcher this name, but it's like the little Frankfurt little bourgeois or bourgeois.
The long,
you know what I mean? Whatever.
The long hot dogs.
I'm embarrassing myself right now, but they have these little Frankfurt little glizzies or dogs, whatever you want to call it. I think they probably a bit used to something like that if they can put their mind towards thinking about that little hot dogs they got in Germany. You know what I mean? Speaking of food, you've been here for some time. Best food that you've been here. Have you tried Spanish food yet, or what you been eating since you've been here?
My boy Yvonne took us to tapas. A lot of time I don't even be knowing what I'm eating, bro. Like I just go to a restaurant and Yvonne be like, "Man, you're here in Spain. Like you don't know how long you gonna be here. Like just try." So I just be ordering stuff. I definitely, I don't like the fact that like I like my stuff like cooked all the way through, and like some of the stuff I've been eating, it's like it'll be raw or they may smoke it just a little bit, and I'm just like, nah, I need that cooked all the way through. So that's definitely an adjustment I'm gonna have to get used to. But some of the stuff I've had, it's definitely been good, but it's hard. It's a huge difference from back home. A huge difference.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be here, so like I'm gonna have to make that adjustment for these next few months.
So it's not something that you would give like a 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, nothing?
No.
Really?
No disrespect, but like just no. Italy is different. Italy was so different.
So what you're saying right now, Italian food is better than Spanish food.
100%.
Yeah. And I also throw in there as well that French food is overrated, just overrated. And I'm gonna just leave that at that. So, yeah, but I do bang with Italian food too. I went to Sicily,
Hmm.
and the food was amazing. The people there was amazing. I had an amazing time in Italy. Italy is right now, since I only been there one time, few days. It's one of my favorite places in Europe to go to. Just all that one experience.
Italy was great.
But I'm gonna try some more Spanish food. You know, I've been here for some time, but I tried a lot, to be honest. I've been in Europe for some years and been an import, sponsored meals and everything. So I've tried a lot from Southern Europe, Northern Europe. Uh, why Europe? Why did you want to come to Europe and play football, real football?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, I just wanted to play ball again. Um, like I had that itch. Like for me, it's just I'm the type of man where, like, if God places something in my heart, whether that's a dream, whether that's um, a woman, but like whatever it is, like if God places something in my heart, like I'm gonna go after it
Mhm.
with a bold determination. And like for me, like I still had that itch. Like I didn't feel as though I gave everything I had to the game.
Mhm.
And I was listening to Ray Lewis one time, and they asked him if he missed it. He said, "I'll never miss the game because I gave it everything I had." And I haven't felt that way. But the way that like I attack my training, like preparing for here, like that's why I don't like I'll be cool in practice. Like I'm able to sprint down there, come back, sprint down like over and over and over again because that's just how I train, preparing for this. And that just helped me to cultivate a new mindset as a man. And so, like being out here, I knew it would be something like much bigger than football because I was already aware of the fact that Jesus wasn't super big here in Spain. Like, and so that's something that definitely just it moved me in a way where it's like, man, like this is an opportunity for me to be a light, but not just that, like, because I need to be a sponge as well. I need help too. Like I
Mhm.
need my brothers and sisters in Christ to push me because I'm weak. But the thing about weakness, like if the goal objective is to depend on Christ, then weakness is an advantage. And so like it's not something that discourages me.
Yeah. And before we get into talking about Christ and everything like that, you already been in practice, and what's your playing style going to be like? Because I already know that you got a little bruise on the side of your face. You already
Yeah.
got popped in practice.
All
But
right, that's not that's just not how that went down.
you got popped in practice.
That's not
Matter of fact, walk us through that moment.
that's just
Nah.
not.
Now, what's your playing style going to be like?
nah, my playing style, like I'm an all around kind of guy. Like people are aware, like I'm a strong guy, but
No fumbles?
like but people just I know my speed is always slept on, even though I've consistently clocked over 20 miles per hour, but my speed just it's always slept on, and I love it because I'm the type to where I see a dude. I prefer to run through your face because I just want you to remember me like when the fourth quarter comes.
Why you look at me?
No, I'm just.
That's my run through your face.
But nah, definitely break some long ones though.
Yeah.
Break some long ones, gash them, um, catch out the backfield. I'm gonna do it all.
Yeah, you can't actually run fast. I was a bit surprised with that too. If I'm playing defense, especially if I'm a little Spanish guy, no offense to Spain, I'm gonna have to think twice before I want to get you. Like I'm gonna have to wait till somebody else get you, then come in there. Hey, aquí, blah, blah, blah. Then I'm gonna come in there and try to get my little lick in. What, big man?
Man.
But yeah, off the field now. People call you the ref, and we already kind of see why. You throw Jesus in quick, in the conversation. But let's hear from you. Why do people call you the ref? Where did this ref name come from?
So when so Illinois came in 2017, like we had this group chat with the people in our class, and so like it's football. So I'm not gonna repeat things that were said in that chat. Like we're talking about young men, like so like at first like guys were annoyed by certain things that I would say. Like if a guy would call a woman out of their name, and I still do it to this day. Like I'd be like, no, women. They'd be like, yeah, this B, da da da. No, women. Like, and I just kept doing it. Like, bro, like, you good? Like, bro, buddy over here tweaking. I'm like, nah, that's really who I am.
How long you been doing that?
And I was 8. I mean, for a long time. Like, I don't even curse. Like, and
What's the worst word that you say?
the
Or
worst.
that people can say, that's kind of a cuss word.
That's kind of a cuss word.
Yeah.
I I mean, I throw the N word out here and there.
What, nigga? Like,
Yeah,
that ain't a
you
cuss
feel?
word.
That's what I'm saying.
Nah.
Like, it'll slip out. Like, but like, nah. But other than that, it ain't really nothing. Darn it, dang it. Like, I really, I just, I just don't cuss, bro. Like, I just don't cuss. But those guys, like, after a while, they were just like,
Why do you choose not to use profanity?
it's hard for me to speak like that and then pray to God. It's hard for me to curse others, or just curse in general and then pray to God those same lips.
At
And
that
so,
same
like,
time.
and so like
Yeah.
it's
And then
that's the
James
big
talks
thing.
about this, you know? Yeah. Look at James.
But like that consistency of just showing up, and saying like, nah, this is who I am. Like, men, like, respect is big for us. Like,
Mhm.
that's the most important thing. And like, guys in that locker room, it's like, dang, like, that's really who he is. Like, he really not out here trying to have sex. He really not out here just trying to do what everybody else is doing. And it just started to raise questions like, what's so different about you? And quickly, coaches, teammates, everybody, even the girls in our dorm room, just started calling me Rev. Like, it was, I mean, it's cool. And I just started to embrace it.
So I can imagine, like, if somebody was going through something tough, male or female, they'd probably like, hey, man, you pray for me?
Most definitely.
And you was like,
Right then and there. Right then and
yeah, I
there.
got you.
No time to waste.
Yeah. That's what's up. So you was a little pastor on campus.
Pretty much.
That's what's up, man. What influence of, like, pastors that you might listen to? Like, I got a pastor who involved in my life. I listen to some people who influence you with your faith and
Um,
etc. Outside of course, Jesus, you know?
yeah. I have some great men in my life. But if we're talking about just pastors specifically,
It don't even have to be a pastor, just anyone who influenced you.
Coach Ray.
Coach Ray?
I hope Coach Ray watches this.
Coach Ray, shout out to you.
I love Coach Ray.
Oh, wait, I'm gonna pause on that. I gotta hear what he says first.
I love Coach Ray. Like, it's not not some secret. Like, people know what Coach Ray means to me.
Yeah.
You watch All American, you know, like Spencer, Coach Baker.
Yeah.
That's me and Coach Ray. Like, that man. That man is like,
I ain't gonna go.
he's just there. Like, he's just constantly there, like, just showing up. For me, I mean, I didn't end up living with him. I'm not saying the relationship is like that, but like Coach Ray is definitely the most impactful man in my life. But like, my youth pastor in high school, and that man is so consistent. So consistent. Every break in college. Hey,
What's
let's
his
go
name?
grab lunch. Daniel McKee.
Daniel
Short
McKee.
ball head dude. But
Yeah.
like, he part of a lion. Part of a lion. Like, that man loves Jesus. That man is a constant reminder of how much Jesus loves me. Truly.
Yeah.
And then my chaplain and pastor at Illinois, Jason Epperson. Like, this man's been a chaplain for years. So like, the amount of players that he stays in touch with, football, basketball, guys in the league, guys not in the league, like, it's so many people like under his leadership. Like, and man, like, that's a true man of God right there. So like, those three men are definitely the most impactful men in my life.
For sure. I've been blessed with beyond I can imagine with the people that God placed in my life. Even today, I mean, even like knowing you, like when I knew it's like, all right, I'm coming here, and I even questioned it before. It's like, man, do I actually want to be here? Like, it started to seem like these signs are not adding up, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna grow more because of being around you, and even in the conversations that we already had with each other, I already feel the wisdom and knowledge in my head, but the impactfulness that it's doing to my heart already. And you know, the way that you crave the Lord and It's something unique and it's something real. And I haven't seen that in anybody, like as a football player in Europe, so much. I seen one guy written to him online, but the point that I'm trying to say that God plays amazing people in my life. I think He placed you in my life for a reason. Even some people who are not believers, that had an impact, or who's doing something good for me in the circumstance that I got in my life right now. But like for example, I have a coach in my life, who's a blessing to me. It's a lot of them, but one I can just say is my college coach, Coach Wimbo. Helped me out through um, a hard time that I was going through in college. I mean, when he says a hard time, but he was able to be an impact on my life of as a believer in God and also just as a human being. And even our chaplain at our school that you mentioned, the chaplain, and I wasn't even going to mention him until you mentioned him. He even keeps in touch with me still to this day. Every birthday he don't miss. I was like, you know what? It's been like several years after I graduated college. I was like, I'm gonna memorize his birthday and I'm gonna return a favor. Send him a little long message, tell him I appreciate him and I love him and everything like that. But my pastor Kenny, he's been a blessing to me. Like 2 years ago, I found myself, wanting to turn my life back around and follow God. It's still a journey, and he's been in touch with me every single day, tough on me hard. He's like a counselor, a mentor, and a pastor all at the same time. He allows me to be vulnerable, and he knows what I'm going through in my life. He ain't stupid. He knows the circumstance that I got going on in my life, and trying to prepare me to, better things. And it's a blessing though that God placed people in our lives. Even like this experience here, I think it's gonna be great. And I think you're gonna I think God is gonna use you here to do amazing things. I believe that, and I want to be able to assist you on this journey. And going into this now, something that we plan to do, and we decided to do this over the weekend. My pastor, he sends me a devotional every Monday through Saturday, consistently, personalizes the message, and I read it, and we both will reflect on it, on a weekly basis. And I hope that you guys tune in for that. And when I'm saying that he shares so much wisdom to me in just like small conversations, you're going to see it more these weeks if you guys like and subscribe and follow and this journey. Stay tuned to know what name that we put a title towards this whole segment that we're going to do. But for now, it's going to just be on my personal channel right here. And follow, this content, and make sure y'all follow Avon. Oh, my bad. Excuse me. The Rev, anything else you want to share before we close? Anything you want to share about yourself? Or I know you have a lot to share about God, anything you want to say?
For me, I definitely.
Matter of fact, what's your favorite verse and why? I think that's
It depends on the season.
What about the season? What about the season?
Actually, no. Let me stop playing around. let me stop playing games. Romans 12, 1 and 2. Romans 12, 1 and 2, most definitely. Therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. And so when I think about being an offering to God, it's like we're all offering him something. But what is it that I'm giving to him? And like when you say, oh, I want to give this person the best version of me. I want this person to give me the best version of them. Like, is this the life that I'm living, the amount of time that I spend with the Lord, like all those things, like am I truly living a life of holiness? That's what I'm offering to God. And then the next verse, like being transformed by the renewing of your mind, then you'll be able to test and approve what God's will is. Like people try to find out what God's will is, but they haven't been transformed by the renewing of their mind. Like you're still walking in the same habits. You're still thinking the same way, talking the same way, but yet you're saying, dang, what's God's will? You're not ready for what God's will is. Like you need to become a certain person in order to get there. Like there's purpose in the pain, there's purpose in the journey, and people think so much about here, but it's like in between here is that blessing, because the blessing is who you become.
Mm-hmm.
And so like for me, a big thing, like when people look at me, I never want somebody to look at me and be like, oh, Rev is this, Rev is that. Rev is not anything. It's like what Paul said, like, who was Paul? Who was Apollos? We're not really anything. I either plant a seed, you water a seed. God is the one that makes it grow. Like I'm really just a vessel. I'm just a messenger, and I'm broken too. Every single day, like I understand how broken I am, and I need to depend on Jesus. Blessed are those who are poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And I need Jesus every single second of the day, because the moment like that I look away, like I'll fall every single time. And so like this ain't never leaving me. This Bible, it's my sword, it's everything. And so that's just how I aspire to live my life, because people don't always need us to preach a sermon, they need us to live one. And so that's what I want to do here, live a sermon out.
Yeah. Imagine he's younger than me by several years, and his wisdom surpasses a lot, you know. Already the content that you just reflecting upon, a verse that speaks to you is, you know, it's powerful, you know what I mean? You got a lot of wisdom in there. Like, before we close, like, what will be your advice for people to stand firm on to present their bodies as a living sacrifice? And, you know, you said that some of them, they're not ready for the will of God. Like, how do they become that person?
So I'll relate back to the Monday message today, like, because as you know, I send out these Monday messages every day, and so today was about Spartans, the Spartan army. And so like what I believe, people can have their opinions, but I believe that the greatest warriors in history hail from Greece. When you look at the Spartans, when you look at someone like Achilles, like these were people who were with it regardless of circumstance. But it's not as if they just rose to the occasion. No, they trained that way. Like Spartans, like they started training when they were 7.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just who they were. Like, it was never a thought to retreat, nor to surrender. And so when I think about how we approach our faith journey, like when God tells us to move, or if someone tries to encourage us to do something that we know we're not supposed to be doing, and it's like, for me, like, I'm not retreating, I'm not running. But the thing is, it's like the way that they train themselves physically, mentally, all those things, we have to train ourselves like that same way spiritually. Like, you get to the point where it's like, nah, like I'm with it, because when adversity smacks me in the face, God's promises are still true. Like, and so I'm not gonna be swayed by these small things. And like, for me, it ain't just lip service. Like, before I got up here, one of my little cousins just got shot. One of my cousins went to jail. One of my aunties just had an emergency brain surgery. Like stuff happening all the time. And it's like, I appreciate that. And it's like, for me, like, I'm not gonna be the guy to get discouraged. I'm not gonna be the guy. I'm not saying don't talk about what's going on, because I definitely have my safe spaces to where I'll express that. And you have to be careful with who those safe spaces are. But God will reveal those to you, like, as you diligently seek Him. But like, for me, what I'm saying is, it's like, I still have purpose, regardless of my circumstance. I still have purpose. I still have a calling, regardless of my circumstance. And so, like, that's not gonna stop me from doing what it is that I'm called to do. It's like the Arcadian came to Leonidas and said, like your choices are to surrender, retreat, and Leonidas said that's an easy decision for us. Arcadian, like, as Spartans, never retreat, never surrender. We're gonna push forward. And so it's like, for me, when it comes to this faith journey, I'm gonna push forward. I'm gonna consider it pure joy whenever I face trials of many kinds, because I know that the testing of faith produces perseverance. And so I'm not concerned about what the enemy is doing. The enemy needs to be concerned about what God is going to use me to do, because I'm going to walk in obedience. I'm going to choose to go out and love people, and I'm going to love people when it's hard. And that's the thing that the enemy is so afraid of. Like, I'm gonna go to practice. I'm gonna love my teammates. I'm gonna go to church. I'm gonna meet people from all over the world, even like I did yesterday. And I'm just gonna keep showing up. I'm gonna keep showing up.
Yeah, those Spartans, and I think that it's a good message. You know, it just makes me think of the verse, like any man that puts hand on the plow and look back, not fit for the kingdom. You know what I mean? You can't be in a football game and you about to go through the tunnel and look back and be like, nah, man, I can't run out in this field. You know, so I see that the same way as you. But yeah, hey, it was a blessing rapping to you and getting to know you.
Sure.
Make sure you guys like and subscribe and be ready to hear more content just like this.
Yeah, nothing gonna take all of my blessings. God wrote the story, can't finesse me, nah. Nothing gonna take all of my blessings, nah.